Okay, we're going to come back into open session. And Abby, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Salute, pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Mike, will you do the invocation, please?
Gracious Father, we thank you for bringing us here today. Lord, we appeal to you. We ask, Lord, for wisdom and discernment in the things that we're going to be talking about and deciding on. We ask that you be pleased. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Okay, announcements of closed session.
Yes, Mr. Chair, the board met in closed session with regard to conference with legal counsel existing litigation pursuant to subdivision D1 of Government Code Section 54956.9, Gino Construction versus County of Lassen. Lassen County Superior Court, case number 2025 CD 0076708. Direction to staff was given. Item 3 will continue after the conclusion of this meeting. So closed session has been recessed on items 3. Board met in closed session regarding public employee appointment pursuant to Government Code Section 54957, and direction to staff was given. The
Thank you.
balance is recessed.
Okay, agenda approval, additions or deletions.
Make a motion to accept the agenda as presented.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Supervisor Bridges, second by Supervisor Albaugh. Is there anybody from the public who would like to comment on that? Seeing none, bring it back up here for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, public comment. Is there anybody from the public that would like to comment on something that is not on the agenda? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to unagendized reports by board members. Mike, you want to start us off?
Sure. On Tuesday, the 23rd of September, I attended the Lassen Regional Solid Waste Management meeting. And then on October 6th, I attended the Westwood Community Service District meeting. And on October 8th, I attended the special meeting here, the Board of Supervisors doing interviews for auditor and tax collector. And then on October 9th, I attended the Spalding Neighborhood Watch meeting.
Thank you. Gary?
Okay, on the 24th, attended a Zoom meeting concerning our senior meals. Later that day, I attended another Zoom for cultural competency. On the 25th, I attended a Lipska meeting here in Susanville. On the 30th, we had another Zoom meeting on the seniors meals. I think we're going to be having several more of those. Your committee on PSA 2 and the meal, they're beating their head against the wall and they're working very hard to make this happen. And I think Tom and I are both on that. We apologize to our seniors, but then we're doing everything we possibly can for those in-house meals and congregate. So don't give up on us. On the 6th, I had a first 5 meeting. Again, there was no quorum. And then on the 6th, that evening, I had a behavioral health meeting up by the hospital at behavioral health. And then on the 7th, we had another meeting on the senior meals, and that included PSA 2 and Dignity Health, the company that has a contract with PSA 2 that's producing the meals. We also had our fair manager there. There's quite a few people that's working very hard on that. And I want to thank each and every one of them. On the 8th, we were here doing interviews for 2 very important positions for the county. And then on the 15th of this month, I have a meeting for Lipska, and we have to figure out the funding that goes to each one of our uh, organizations that we grant money to that are nonprofit. That takes care of it.
All right, thank you. Jason?
Sure. Over the break, we conducted interviews last week for two very important positions. So glad we come to a conclusion there. Also, we had the Ravendale Salvation Army food giveaway. I wanted to thank Nicole Lamica and Cherish from Housing and Grant for all their help. We ended up serving, I don't know, a lot of families. Also attended the Blue Star Moms Bingo. I apparently can't buy a bingo, but won't stop going, I guess. Also attended the Aiden fundraiser and won the sourdough silent auction basket, which had 100 gallons of kerosene in it. So that came just in time. Also attended another Team Bianco Zoom. I look forward to his return early next year. And if you're not going, Lassen Family Services Hoedown event is this Saturday. It's a good event for domestic violence victims. And also I wanted to adjourn the meeting in Newton McDonald's in honor of him. He was 97 and a half World War II veteran. Solid guy, and I pray for Carla McDonald and her family. Here you go, Michelle.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that big there. Lloyd, son.
I did not.
Will you? You should. Weber.
Yeah.
Sorry. I too attended the solid waste meeting, whatever that was last month sometime. Just going through the process, you know, it's never fun. It's never easy. State's putting more and more mandates on us. I don't know how we're going to pay for it. But as far as water testing and filling monitoring wells, etc. Anyway, tomorrow will be by Zoom and RAI meeting through RCRC as well as executive meeting. And then on Friday, I was asked to sit on their ad hoc predatory animal meeting. So I'll be sitting in on that on Friday. That'll be our first one. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully we can get some information, some movement on it, you know, because the predators are they're not being very kind to us. And Department of Fish and Predators is no help. The other thing over the break, you know, I read an article in the paper by Sam Williams. Somebody who doesn't know how to get anything on the agenda. I found it to be very disturbing and disappointing. We've had a discussion here at the board level on how to get something on the agenda. When you become a supervisor, there's supervisor training where you learn how to put it on there. And, you know, I think with the amount of time somebody's been on the board, they should know how to put it on the agenda rather than just go complain to the public. And I found that to be very disturbing and disappointing. So hopefully they can learn from that and we can move forward. That's all.
All right, thanks. I also attended the PSA 2 meetings with Gary and our team to move that forward. And I also attended the Blue Star Moms bingo night. And so that it was well attended, and I know the Blue Star Moms really appreciate everybody that attends. It's a fundraiser for them, and they give a lot of support for our kids that are serving. And so and then yesterday I got to go out in the forest with Rick Hobson. We drove around and he hadn't been to different areas on the Lassen forest, so he really enjoyed our little road trip that we took, and hopefully we'll be able to go out again. So, and
I can't.
that's all I got for right now.
Homekeeper.
Oh, it's Tom. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and I would like to adjourn the meeting in honor of, Tom Kiefer. Okay. We're going to move on to G. But actually, I take that back. We are going to move to F. For, number one, for the vacancy on, Lassen County Fish and Game Commission meeting. District one, Mike had,
Yeah, I got to interview Clayton Harkness. He's eager to be on that commission. And there's been a vacancy there since the beginning of the year. And I've actually been through several different, I won't say applicants, but people that have tried to kind of coerce onto that board. And when I talked to him, he was actually eager to do it. And so he's a native of our county and an avid hunter and outdoorsman. And his family comes from a ranching family. And so I think he's well aware of all the different issues that are taking place there. And I think it'd be a great addition to the Fish and Game Board.
I have to agree with this.
anybody
With
else?
a motion?
What's that?
Was that in the form of a motion?
No, I thought he was asking why I was recommending it, but I'd like to make a motion that we
And I second it.
yeah,
He's a good guy.
to appoint Clayton Harkness to the Fish and Game Board.
And on that same note, my wife and I had the privilege of having in our 4-H club. And, so he's a great, he was a great kid and now a great young man. So, so I think he's, will be a good addition.
Yeah.
Okay.
I seconded it.
So Supervisor Scanlon made the motion. Supervisor Bridges seconded it. Is there anybody from the public that would like to comment on it? Okay, seeing none, bring it back up here for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, we're going to move on to F2, and that is the Behavioral Health Advisory Board. And we have one applicant.
We discussed it in the behavioral health meeting, and I don't know the person, but she came highly recommended by the director and several people on the board, so I feel that it's a good decision and a good appointment. So with that, I'll make a motion to appoint her.
All right. Anybody else?
Seconds.
Okay. Motion made by Supervisor Bridges, seconded by Supervisor Albaugh. And is there anybody from the public would like to comment on that? Okay. All those in favor of the appointment of Jasmine Gisberg?
All right.
Okay. Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay, now we will move on to the G, information and consent calendar.
Make a motion to accept the information in consent calendar.
I'll second. All right. Nobody else wants anything pulled?
No. I think we're good.
We're good?
Make note of that.
Be a full minute. We can make up next week.
We got a lot of close sessions happening.
Okay. So,
I made the motion.
Supervisor Bridges made a motion
Everybody's fine.
and, Supervisor Scanlon second. Is there anybody from the public that would like to comment on that? Okay, seeing none, we'll bring it back up here for a vote. All those in favor,
Aye.
Aye.
opposed?
Done deal.
Okay, motion passes.
Oh, sorry, you got 5 minutes still.
Yeah,
You should pull something on.
Well, I'm sure Carney could keep us entertaining on
Okay.
H1.
Too late.
so,
With H.
we are going to, we're going to, go ahead and, I think we can move to D1
You can't,
and bit,
Not until
you have to wait.
not until 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Go to H1.
On
Carney.
Got H1, get the sheriff out of here.
You probably whacked out without H1.
Just a second reading and adoption, and then the sheriff's can go on with their day.
Yeah, Carney's shopping.
I want the sheriff's department here on, H3 also.
Which one's that one, Mr. Chairman?
Spalding.
All right?
Yeah.
So, but you can come up and, help us out. We're moving to H1.
All right, good morning, Mike Carney, Captain of the Sheriff's Office. Do you guys want me to go through the whole spiel? This is the annual military equipment policy, and I'm here for you guys to adopt the ordinance, waive the second reading, and I could give you guys the history. I know you guys have heard it several times. I'm more than happy to do so. Just looking for some direction on that.
Who showed up at your meeting?
Mr. Scanlon and his grandkids.
I know it.
I bet it was fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, there is a bunch of youth sitting here behind you, Mike, so why don't you tell us a little bit about what this program is so that they have an education?
Yeah, I'd be more than happy to. All right. So,
A brief.
a brief one, you got it. So in 2022, Governor Newsom signed into law what we call a military equipment use policy. He made a big old list of all of what he feels is military equipment, and as well as equipment that we actually do get from the military. So the law requires that we develop a policy, hold a community engagement meeting, and then seek the approval from our governing body, which is you guys, by way of ordinance. So we jump through all the hoops every year. Every law enforcement in the state is supposed to be doing this. The only piece of actual military equipment that we have is our MRAP, which is a mine-resistant ambush protected vehicle. Our SWAT team uses that on high-risk operations. The rest of our equipment that Governor Newsom has listed has all been commercially purchased for several years. So it's just an unfortunate hoop that we got to jump through, and but it's a necessary hoop. I mean, we wouldn't be able to operate without our MRAP on a lot of our stuff. And then some of the commercially purchased equipment is less lethal equipment, gas, flashbangs, our ARs, stuff like that. So we need the equipment. It's essential for our safety as well as the civilian safety, and that is it in a nutshell.
Yes.
I would like to hear about your vehicle. I think
The MRAP?
yes.
Yeah.
I think some of these young people would really enjoy hearing it.
Sure, it looks like
pretty
a
cool.
giant tan tank, but it's not a tank. We've been down that road
Yeah.
before. The tires on it are about that big, and basically you could drive it through a minefield, and the mines, could blow up, and it's gonna keep us safe.
When's the last time you used it?
A week ago, maybe?
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
It's awfully intimidating when it
It
comes to town. I love
Well, and
it.
I imagine that it feels pretty secure when you're inside of it.
It is. It's really cumbersome. The ins and outs of it are tough, you know, because it's so high off the ground. The doors, everything, you know, they have to be they're air assisted to open because they're so heavy. Yeah, I mean, obviously they gotta withstand a bomb. But unfortunately, part of this section that the government created, we used to be able to drive it in parades and show it off to the public and all that, and we're not allowed to do that anymore, unfortunately. The only time we can is when we have these community engagement meetings. We invite the public to come check it out.
Okay.
The kids really do like it. They like to go in and out of it, see what it's all about.
I
But
imagine a lot of adults do too.
yes, absolutely. It's intriguing. I mean, you see it. It's pretty cool looking. Yeah.
So why can't you drive in the parade?
I wish I knew. Governor Newsom decided that for us. Yeah, can't flaunt it.
Just have your involvement on.
Here's the walls.
Maybe you could do your community involvement during the parade.
That's a good idea.
That way you could tie it in together.
Kill two birds with one stone.
Okay,
I'd like to make a motion to waive the second reading and adopt the ordinance.
I second that.
okay, motion made by Supervisor Scanlon, seconded by Supervisor Bridges. Is there anybody from the public would like to comment on that? Okay, seeing none, bring it back up here for a vote. All those in
Roll
favor?
call. It's a
Oh, roll call. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Michelle.
Supervisor Scanlon,
Yes.
Supervisor Bridges,
Yes.
Supervisor Alba,
Aye.
Supervisor Ingram,
Aye.
Supervisor Neely.
Yes. Motion passed.
In a call.
10:01.
Okay,
Perfect.
all right. I've been anxious for this one. So we are going to move to D1 for 4-H proclamation. And who,
I would move approval.
okay, we'll move for approval.
Motion to approve the proclamation.
Okay, motion made by Supervisor Ingram, second by Supervisor Bridges. Is there anybody from the public who would like to comment on this?
Yeah, we have a little speech.
Okay,
That'd be a comment.
come on up.
Okay.
Pretty good looking crew.
Okay.
Abby, can you say your name, honey, for the record?
Yeah, Abby Hemphill.
John Hammond.
Okay. Hello, we are the 2025-2026 Lassen County 4-H Ambassadors. And today we are here to present a proclamation designating National 4-H Week as October 5th through 11th, 2025. My name is Abby Hemphill.
My name is John Hammond. We are joined today by previous ambassadors. We would like them to introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Molly Dixon. I am a former ambassador and the current president of Richmond 4-H.
My name is Russell Mallory. I'm a former ambassador and the treasurer of Richmond 4-H.
My name is Leighton Allen. I'm a former ambassador and secretary of South County 4-H.
My name is Peyton Hallmark. I'm a former ambassador and I'm the president of Milford 4-H.
My name is Samantha Medvin. I'm also a former ambassador and I'm part of Milford 4-H.
I have been in the Lake 4-H program for 12 years now and currently the president. I'm a third generation 4-H member and ambassador. One of the opportunities I've had through 4-H was serving my community as a 4-H counselor for
These skills are being able to manage money through buying and selling my lamb at the Lassen County Fair. I've also learned valuable leadership skills that I can use later in life when I obtain a job. 4-H has provided an opportunity for us to service activities, and now we have an opportunity to be involved in the civic engagement activity. We have learned about our California legislature, who represents us, and how a proclamation is passed. Our 4-H clubs have taken advantage of this activity to write thank you letters to Majority Leaders Celia Aguiar Curry and Assemblywoman Heather Hadwick for drafting and passing this proclamation designating October 5th through 11th as National 4-H Week.
Now we will read the proclamation. So Board of Supervisors, County of Lassen, State of California, proclamation designating the week of October 5th through 11th, 2025 as National 4-H Week in Lassen County. Whereas this year's National 4-H Week theme, Beyond Ready, reminds us that 4-H is building a ready generation in a world of change and equips young people with the skills for a future while meeting them where they are ready today.
Whereas 4-H is America's largest youth development organization, supporting 6 million youth across the country, helping them become engaged, successful, and independent. And
whereas the Lassen County 4-H program is delivered to over 192 youth by 66 volunteers in its eight clubs, and providing day camp and overnight camp engagement activities in Lassen County, California, providing opportunities for participants to become confident, independent, resilient, and compassionate leaders. And
whereas 4-H programs are delivered by the Cooperative Extension System, a community of more than 100 public land-grant colleges and universities across the nation that provides experiences for young people to learn by doing.
Whereas California 4-H is led by the University of California Cooperative Extension, the research and outreach arm of Culture Natural Resources.
Whereas 4-H connects young people and adults to their communities, preparing them for work and life through experiential and inquiry-based learning, while providing emerging research for positive youth development.
Future leaders in science, agricultural, and community leadership is important and imperative for the U.S. Department of Agriculture National Institute of Food and Agriculture 4-H program.
Whereas compared to their peers, 4-H youth are 4 times more likely to make a positive contribution to their communities and 2 times more likely to take courses and pursue careers in science, technology, engineering, and math. And
now, therefore, the Board of Supervisors of the County of Lassen do hereby proclaim October 5th through 11th, 2025 as National 4-H Week throughout Lassen County and encourage all of their citizens to recognize 4-H for the significant impact it has made and continues to make by empowering youth with the skills they need to lead a lifetime. This concludes the proclamation, and we would also like to thank all of you, our county supervisors, for your support of the 4-H Youth Leadership Development Program here in Lassen County. In appreciation, we would like to share this local honey, a locally produced product with you, and this honey is produced.
thank you all again, and we were wondering if we could take a photo with all of you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, come on up, guys, and,
Good job. Good job. Very special.
Thank you.
How are you doing today?
Thank you.
I gotta shake this guy's hand. How you doing? Stand there by me today.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank you.
Jose, can you send me one of those? Thank you. Wow. Thank you.
thank you.
Wow. That's a nice one. Happy. I'll give her a hug. I'll get up.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good job, guys.
Thank you. These are for the board.
Yes, thank you for your help.
It says for the board. You're welcome, Sandy. And I will go ahead, I'll interrupt that proclamation to you
Thank you.
Yeah.
after the meeting. Actually, I'll drop it off.
Hey,
Okay.
hey, wait.
Yes.
Sandy, you guys can't run off yet.
No, we got it.
We haven't completed the business. Okay, is there anybody else from the public that would like to comment? Seeing none, we're gonna bring it back up here to the board. Mr. Alba.
You know, as a former 4-H member, I'm proud of you guys. You guys did a very good job, and it was amazing. I want to know who wrote that proclamation, because you guys ought to be a speechwriter for Mr. Trump or something. So, that was phenomenal. So good job, whoever come up with that. And you guys should be proud of yourself on how you presented. It was a very good job. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I've watched most of you grow up from a very young age. Some of you are very young. And it amazes me Because I wasn't in 4-H. My dad kept me busy cutting logs. But every time I go to the auction, go to the fair, and I see you guys down there in your white pants, white shirts, taking care of your animals, I'm jealous. You have learned something at a young age. It took me a lifetime. And I really appreciate everything you do for yourselves, your family, and your community. So thank you.
And then I would like to, say how much I appreciate the 4-H program. My kids, went through the program and it's just, phenomenal, of what adults they have become because of the 4-H program. They're, they learn work ethics early on. They milk cows at 4:30 in the morning and 4:30 at night, and so that's a valuable lesson, and they carried it on through their careers of hard work. And I know I've seen each of you guys down there, and what great adults you guys are going to be. This state will benefit so much from you guys. I know that as you go through your careers, when you add 4-H onto your resumes, that is a huge asset for you guys, because employers know that you guys have good work ethics, and that you've committed yourselves for a long time through the 4-H program, and it helps you in your public speaking, unlike you're seeing me struggle now. But it really helps you during your demonstration days, that you're able to come forward and feel comfortable around adults. And so I am always very proud of each and every one of you guys, and the whole 4-H program. And with that, I need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
We already have the motion on the floor.
Okay,
This is already
I
voted on.
need a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you for the gift too.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
very much.
Pretty sweet gift.
Yes.
A sweet girl.
Okay, we are going to move on to D2, the Fish and Game Commission. And Tony? Ryan?
Tony, can you state your name for the record? When you,
Tony Ardito,
thank you.
can I give you these?
Of course you can. I'll go ahead and pass those out.
And Ryan, state your name.
Ryan Barney.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Well, Tom, like you, I struggle with public speaking, so forgive me. Good morning, Mr. Chairman and board and members of the board. My name is Tony Ardito.
I am Ryan Barney.
I am Lassen County Fish and Game Commission Vice Chairman. Ryan and I are here today to express our concerns about the ongoing wolf issue in Lassen County and the lack of communication from the California Department of Fish and Wildlife. The commission is very unhappy and disappointed regarding the cancellation of war coordinator Nate and his wardens from our last Fish and Game Commission meeting. The refusal to attend the meeting and engage the commission and the public shows disrespect and an indifference to the people of Lassen County, especially the members of the public that are being affected by the growing wolf populations. We are here to speak for the residents of Lassen County and local producers that are demanding to have their grievances heard as their livelihood and the safety of the public is at risk. While Fish and Game are demanding we submit questions ahead of time so they can prepare answers for future meetings, we do not believe this is a conductive or productive way to handle that. We will not be submitting questions. We do not feel that it is a trustworthy form of communication because there will not be any real answers given, and there's no ability for open discussion or follow-up. We want to have a face-to-face, open and honest communication with them. We believe if communication would have been maintained from the beginning, that most of the honesty of the hostility and mistrust would not exist now as it does.
The commission feels like it has no voice at the state level, and that is why we are here today. We would like the board to continue to advocate for this issue and address the following questions and requests. Number of kills by wolves, whether it is livestock or wildlife. What forms of hazing are being used and statistics showing their effectiveness or lack of. What kind of additional poaching is occurring because there's no law enforcement in Lassen County patrolling and enforcing the fish and game laws here. What kind of short and long-term plan does Fish and Game have to reduce future livestock loss to the ranchers? We would like quarterly reports in person to relay all pertinent information to the board and to the commission. What is being done to restore the program to reimburse producers who are losing their livestock? Will this funding be restored and or increased? What measures will be taken once the cattle are moved to the valley for the winter to protect the people's homes, their pets, their children, because we feel those will be targeted by the wolves once the cattle are gone. The commission has been in contact and working with Honey Lake Valley RCD's new staff member, Jackie, who is experienced in wildlife and livestock conflict. Her initial take on all this is that in other states, the wolf problem has never to the degree that she has seen here. She even said that the reports shown that the wolves even pick up on and shift on the shift change of the staff that are trying to deter them from the livestock. These wolves are that adaptable to the measures currently being taken, which in our belief means that we need to step up and change what is being done. There are plans being developed in Sierra and Plumas counties to allow ranchers the ability to haze the wolves. We ask that once the board is advised on these plans, on what those plans are, that you petition Fish and Game to implement them here and to even implement stronger measures than what are being done in the other counties.
I come from a law enforcement background, as many of you probably know. And my perception currently is that the wolves are operating in a similar manner as career criminals do. They adapt and escalate based on enforcement from law enforcement or Fish and Game in this case. Law enforcement uses an escalation of force ladder type of matrix to handle different situations. A one-size-fits-all methodology doesn't work, and the government cannot dictate how we handle each situation because everyone in every situation is different. The department needs to give the ranchers or producers steps on a ladder that they can use, even if it is short of lethal means being given to them and other means given, but give them all other means to deter the wolves. This This at least will be, I'm sorry, I skipped a line. Even if that means short of the lethal means, but give them all of the other means to deter the wolves. This at least will be including them as part of the solution and not being excluded. Then not only will Fish and Game have extra help, but the successes can be shared, which will improve the relationship between Fish and Game and the public. We believe that by including them in the solutions, it will reduce the chance of the producers feeling like they have no other recourse than to jump directly to lethal means to stop the wolves. In relation to the pushback from Fish and Game to allow any member of the public to haze or scare wolves at all is a very hypocritical, since for as long as I can remember, individuals or various non-government organizations routinely haze or scare other wildlife to stop hunters being able to legally hunt them, which I believe is against the law too. But Fish and Game never does anything to enforce the law on those individuals or NGOs. But Fish and Game is definitely ready to enforce this against the ranchers, showing Fish and Game's bias in this manner. If hazing a deer doesn't hurt anything or doesn't harm the deer, then hazing a wolf to protect cattle won't harm the wolf either. I have another letter here from our chairman, Paul, who wasn't able to attend. As chairman of the Fish and Game Commission, I would like the following questions presented to the board at their meeting on Tuesday, October 14th. How many confirmed wolf packs are there in California? How many collared wolves are there in California? How many pups were born in California this year? What is the anticipated growth for 2026? What was the wolf budget for 2023 to 2024? What was the wolf budget for 2025? And what has been spent so far? Are the staff that are being redirected to Sierra County being paid out of the wolf budget? Are the game wardens covering the areas for the wardens that are being are there game wardens covering the areas for the wardens that are being redirected? With our local game wardens and for the trapper being redirected, it causes a constant interruption of services for the communities they serve in Lassen County. I feel this is a selfish act of Fish and Game. If you guys would consider some of this in the letter you guys were talking about sending on, we would appreciate it.
Okay, how many times have you guys invited Nate or Tina or Chuck Bottom to your meetings? And I mean, over the years, I mean.
So, to my knowledge, which I've only been on the commission for a short time, they've been slated to be here 3 times and have not turned up or given us a short, sorry, we're not coming notice.
Okay. Yeah, this last one, I don't know who Paul shared the email with from them. Do you have that, Sam? That letter?
I think so, yes.
When you guys say Nate, you're referring to Nate Leibel, right? Not Kent Loudon's replacement?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you shared that with me at the last meeting.
I have a good question.
You know, I think this letter, it's very well written, guys. It really is. The questions are pertinent. They're completely justifiable. And you're right, they need to come.
Yeah.
Sam
can read you their response that they sent to Paul regarding the last meeting when they
Pretty sad.
failed to attend.
The only criticism I would have is you guys use the Department of Fish and Wildlife throughout this. You need to change the fishing predators. Because that's what they make care about. I mean, seriously. I mean, get their attention. I mean, they don't care, so why should we? I mean, this is just stupid. It just gets you wound up, just tighter than all get out. And that's part of the reason they don't come, because they don't like what we have to say and the questions we ask.
Correct.
Because they don't want to hear it. But they need to hear it.
Yeah.
And I'm all for helping you guys out to get them up here. They need to come up here, at least come to your meeting. I mean,
Yeah, the ranchers and producers that come are super frustrated.
Yeah.
And then the one fishing game representative that Brian, he is not the wolf guy. He doesn't have the answers to all of their questions. And I actually feel bad for him because he gets tore up at those meetings, but he doesn't have the information that the ranchers want when they're asking these questions. So we invite, the other people that do to come. But like you said, they don't want to hear it, so they do not come. We're being told, and that's just rumor, that they are being instructed to avoid public comment.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
it's obvious.
And
Yeah.
Mr. Bonham, he told me that I was part of the problem with this whole problem. That I was part of the problem because of the inflammatory language that they use.
Yeah,
They don't say anything that isn't true. They just don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
And they don't like to hear it. And so, as far as I'm concerned, I'm all for letting up here and demanding that they show up. I mean, because this is just going to get worse, like you said, because people are pulling off the Forest Service now and off the BLM, and
Yeah.
they're coming to the home ranch. And they're going to be here for another month, and then a lot of guys ship them down the valley. And so, what's that mean? That means they're going to be coming in closer to the home,
mhm,
and it's just going to get worse.
yeah,
And they've over in Sierra Valley, they've got these deterrent guys that were protecting 3 ranches, which was stupid because they're chasing them off the 3 ranches to the outlying ones, and the outlying are just getting ate alive.
the statistics of the kills have gone up
Mhm.
Yeah.
since those methods started.
Yeah.
The problem's actually gotten worse.
So, and it's just going to continue to get worse until
Yeah.
they make some changes, and we've got to force them to do that. How that is, I don't know, other than it's you guys and it's us and it's the
Yeah.
ranchers and the public.
Sheriff McGarva has been great. He's been very involved. He comes to our meetings. He tries to speak to the ranchers and the public. And Fish and Game and him have, been going back and forth as well. But I don't know that he's getting a lot of traction. He could speak to that. But,
But I would, in our letter, I would request that we get Mr. Bonham back up here because he said he would come back again and hold him at his word and tell him to bring Nate Leifel and whoever else needs to come. But get somebody here that has some teeth. And Bonham's the only one that he's the director, or get Wade Crowfoot.
yeah,
I mean, let's shoot for it. I mean, why not? I mean, Tina's gonna come, but she's not gonna give you anything. Nate's gonna come, but he doesn't do anything. So that's what the directive or whatever. But you gotta get Bonham here because he's the director of it. He's the one that can hold it down.
yeah, yeah. And the problem in Alaska County is just about to explode. It's just going to get worse. As they move those cattle back down the hill, the wolves are going to go after what's easiest and next.
Well, and the
which is gonna
numbers
be
are up from last year by
homeless
quite a bit.
children.
And we've been
Pets.
fighting this since 2016, and Bonham's been in Alaska County one time.
Yeah.
We're the home of the original pack, the original wolves.
Yeah.
And he's been here one time. Seriously? Come on.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Sam, can you read that paragraph in their response, if you have that to them?
Yes, it says, good morning, Paul. I'm sorry for the late notice, but unfortunately CDFW will not be able to provide a wolf update at the upcoming commission meeting. There are 3 reasons for this. First, I personally am unavailable due to pressing field duties that have just come up. Second, the executive team would like to review submitted questions and provide comments prior to the meeting, and at this point will not have enough time to do so. The third reason is that the department would also like to have someone from management attend to be able to speak to and respond to questions regarding policy. Unfortunately, the appropriate staff are not available on Thursday. Again, I apologize for the bad news and late notice. If you can still provide questions soon, I'm hopeful that we can get this ball rolling for an update next month.
there you go, right there.
Yeah.
Bonham.
And we had that scheduled with them 3 months ahead of time.
And well, that tells you right there, Bonham's the only guy that's gonna come.
Yeah.
He's the only one that has the answers, and he's gonna tell his minions what to say. So just get Bonham's ass up here and. What? Look at me.
Okay, Gary,
Okay,
Aaron.
I'd like you to just talk about it for a second so the people in the audience would know. How many days before the meeting did you get that letter?
2.
Yeah, I knew you called me and you were very upset. That's a paid public servant that's not doing their job. 100% not doing their job. Promised to be here 2 days before the meeting, you already talked to the ranchers, everybody was gonna be here, and they come up with these excuses. I know why you were frustrated. We spent a lot of time on the phone over it.
Mhm.
And, we need to send a pretty straightforward, strong letter. We
We
really
would
do.
appreciate that.
And I thank you for being in here today, both of you.
At least you guys come to the subjects, because they damn sure know.
Yeah, and I just want to, I mean, that's, why we have the Fish and Game Commission, to bring forward, different problems of the wildlife areas out there, and I appreciate your guys' dedication and, to helping us, with each of the different problems that are out there, not only the wolves, but other stuff. And I appreciate your guys' dedication, and
Thank you.
and that, we need you to be here as much as possible when problems arise, so that we can work together on problems like this and anything else out there. But I appreciate your guys' hard work. Yes.
I want to thank you guys for coming in as well. I know the ranchers have been getting hit really hard, and I think if Aaron writes them a letter of invite and everything else,
It'll get edited.
well, it'll get edited. That's why we got county council. But
Write this up.
Yeah.
I think Aaron, you'd enjoy the assignment, wouldn't you?
I think we're going to
Have somebody else write it.
someone else.
Yeah.
Just because I want to make sure that in our invitation to Mr. Bonham, that he may be receptive to coming up, because he's already identified Mr. Albaugh as the problem, a wolf problem. And we know that isn't true, but.
Yeah, the
So-
ranchers feel very ignored.
And
If we can reestablish that communication with them and Fish and Game,
That would go a long ways.
yeah, help them be part of the solution. Right now, they feel like, what's the term that they use? They're calling it to feed the wolf program with their cattle.
yeah,
Well, and they are.
Yeah,
but and if you guys want to do this letter, I mean, I would like our Fish and Game Commission people to sign the letter, and
Well, they need to be part of it for the background information.
Yeah.
of How we've tried and how we could get right off.
and also, since 2017 or 16, we have sent several letters, and I don't know if they're archived, but if we can pull each of those letters up, showing that we have sent a minimum of one a year since the 2017, if not more. And so that not only they can see that we've been concerned for the problem, but also the public can see that, that we have been fighting it. The wolves have just moved into everybody else's backyard, and now they're joining Lassen County in this fight.
correct.
So, we can, hopefully we can, send a letter, and then you guys, we can all sign it and send it off, and give them 50 different dates that, so they might be able to squeeze one of those
Well,
dates.
2 days
in.
and they'll come up with an excuse.
Yeah,
Mr. Chairman, could we also make a copy of all that and send it to President Trump.
Yeah, that's fine. I think we did the last Wolf letter. I
Put a big
believe
help right on
that
the.
we sent it to President Trump also. Yes,
On this letter, we need to have it CC'd to Wade Crowfoot because that's Chuck Bonham's direct supervisor. And also to Senator Daly and Assemblywoman Hadwick, just to help hold accountable so that they know that it's getting out there and there's gonna be other people. I think it would put a little bit more weight on it.
Yeah.
And more force the issue a little bit harder after.
Aaron, what if we CC'd RCRC on that, please?
Oh, you can, yeah. But
Just a
Wade's
thought. Right.
gonna be the hammer
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah, I'll send a completed copy of the letter to Mr. Bridges. I have his email.
I'll get it.
I can send it to Sam
Yeah,
as well.
send it to Sam and, thank you, gentlemen.
so,
Welcome.
Maury, can we write a letter
I'll go sharpen my pencil.
okay, and
I'll get a draft back to you guys. Thank you, the group.
Please feel free to contact us, especially Paul. Paul has extensive notes and statistics and info.
Okay.
That could probably be helpful.
Can you guys, on your way out today, can you stop in and see David live?
Yeah, I have an 11 o'clock appointment, but I got a few minutes.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
okay,
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we are going to move on to H. What's that? I am going to move to H3. The Spalding off-highway vehicle use. And Mike, is that you?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I've gotten,
Mike, I'm sorry, do you want me to pass these out now?
yes, please.
Okay.
I apologize that when I submitted my agenda request, I didn't put in the supporting documentation that I wanted to look at. So I made copies for you and highlighted it so you know right where to look. But basically, I've gotten several complaints from constituents up in Spalding that after the passage of resolution 24-021, that I think the original intent was to allow for a specific event up there, a poker run, I forget what it was called exactly, but the board accommodated that with this resolution. But since then, more and more people are driving their off-road, off-highway vehicles around town and up and down the Strand, that kind of stuff. And my impression as I was sitting in the audience when this was passed by you guys and Chris Gallagher was that, they had to get a permit for the event and all that. And, but reading the resolution, and there's resolution 24-021. And then there's also resolution 24-016. And it defines specifically that it's limited to the Strand, not around Spalding in general, but just the Strand. But the weekenders and different people are kind of ignoring some of that. And there's some constituents that are pretty upset about constant noise and the kids racing around, that kind of thing. And after having received several complaints, I thought, well, for a couple of people in particular, to give them a voice, an opportunity to come address the board again and reopen the discussion about these resolutions. And so I'd like to hear from the public, and then maybe we can have more discussion. But both of the resolutions are actually pretty similar. CIO Egan at the time of the passage of 24-021 said, hey, this is kind of redundant because you've already got 24-016. And looking at them, they are kind of redundant. The reason I gave you the copy of the 016 is on the third page. There's a recommendation, not a recommendation, but maybe a fallback plan if this is rejected by the state for some reason, that we could approach it with an as needed basis. In other words, it wouldn't be a carte blanche to do it all the time, but by permit of the board for a special event or occasion to open it up to that versus year round. And so I know there's advantages economically to having this. I don't want to shut down any event or keep people from, prospering and, utilizing the areas of the off-road stuff. But at the same time, there's been kind of, and I know it's not the highest priority for the sheriff's department to be out there, but some of the residents are kind of upset. And so I want to hear from them.
It's important to the people that live there.
Yeah. That makes sense?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So at this time, I will take any public comment that doesn't like the that's against the side-by-sides.
I would like to speak if I may.
Okay, come to the podium and state your name, please, and you'll have 30 minutes.
All right, I'm like you. I don't like doing this. My name is Brian Pond. I'm a resident in Spalding. To give you a little background on me, I'm an ex-stuntman for the studios and transportation coordinator. I've done a lot of dangerous things in my life and driving. I live on the Strand. My house is on the Strand. I think that this amendment that you did, and not to anybody's fault, was mistaken. Now you've done this. There's children riding ATVs, 2 at a time, no helmets. Parents with their children on the back, 2 kids with a parent on the back. There's residents with small side-by-sides, the enclosed ones, with 2-axle dump trailers driving down the Strand. There are people going 40, 50 miles an hour down the Strand. It disturbs me to see this, especially from what I've done in my life. There's no excuse for what is going on because it's going to kill somebody. The sheriff department is a great department. I am a volunteer there, so I'm going to be biased here in the sense that the sheriff department is really good. I've been to some of the meetings. They do things professionally. They follow the law. I'm about the law. As a coordinator, I've taken studios across state lines and even to 2 different countries. I have to follow laws, rules, and regulations. This is not being done up there. I feel it's a major liability for Lassen County, the citizens of Lassen County, and for Spalding to allow this to continue lawlessly. I think it would be great if they were doing it like was presented to me from Frank Muse, our fire chief, when he first did this. He came to me and asked me how to get to do it. I said, well, you can get insurance binders and go get permits and do this legally. And that's what he did. He also presented to me that this would be done properly once a year, a poker run, annual, something like that. It didn't end up as that. It got out of control. I don't think this is fair to anybody. I feel that following the laws, rules, and regulation is the most important thing. I learned that being in the studios and being a stuntman. It has a lot to do with it. I feel that to have Frank Muse come up here and speak on behalf of this would be a violation of Government Code 109, self-dealing. Public official cannot participate in making contracts or decisions from which they benefit financially. He did this. His parents own the RV park. I have no problems with that and them making money. But I don't think a fire chief should come here in front of the board, a safety person who's to prevent and help the public promote a dangerous thing. Thank you.
Okay, is there anybody else that is in opposition of it? Okay, come to the podium, please. And state your name and you'll have 3 minutes, ma'am.
Yes, on, the gentleman's note, my name is
What's your
Barbara
name? I
Kemper.
didn't catch it.
Barbara Kemper.
Okay, thank you.
I live on Tulip Way, down from the Strand, in the middle of the block. And my block, especially in the summertime, is plagued by young little kids on fast bikes. And one man who lives on the block goes up and down that block all day long on a 4-passenger side by side. The noise is incredible. On the Strand, you try to walk down the Strand, the traffic from all of the kids that come up and spend the weekend with their folks in the RV park, the bikes with little, I call them babies. I mean, they're little kids riding down with the electric bikes or whatever they are, the gas powered bikes and all that. I find it kind of dangerous for the kids, no helmets. It's to me, I find it overbearing compared to what I would perceive the place to be, especially 4 years ago when I moved there. It was pretty quiet. Now it's just overbearing how many machines. I live across from the Legion. My backyard faces the Legion. You know, a lot of people who drink a lot, they pull in there. A lot of barflies, they leave with their side by sides of their cars, and there's a lot of traffic from there, especially in the summer. You get a big crowd there, they leave with those machines. The kids come in with the families that pull in the bar, they leave, and the kids, I mean, I'm not saying the kids drink, but there's just a lot of traffic in and out with noisy machines. So the residents who live, you know, get gypped in terms of the business that's being done between the RV park or, you know, whoever comes up there with all of these machines. So I personally have no objection to events. I get it, you know, but when it's just all of the time now, I think that we as year-round residents are now getting gypped for the reasons that we moved up there in the first place. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, is there anybody else?
My name is Tammy LeBeau. I'm not going to reiterate what they've already said because I agree with everything. No one's against the events. My additional issue is it's not just the Strand, it's all over the community. And my road, which we're responsible to repair because they're unmaintained county roads, has gotten torn up since you guys approved this. I won't even drive down part of my road because of it. There's so many potholes now. So thank you, and thank you for putting it on the agenda.
Okay, is there anybody else that's opposed to it? Yep.
Morning. My name's Frank Martins. I've been up Spalding for 24 years. I worked as a resident deputy up there, and so I've seen it all. I'm for these events like everybody else is. It's just, we need to have them regulated in between these events. I've seen it all up there. We had 2 incidences that went unreported that should have been reported. We had a kid riding wheelies on the Strand on a motorcycle, and a car stopped, and he was on his back wheel, and he hit this car. This happened just this summer. That went unreported. Somebody in a side-by-side came and scooped him up and took him away. Then we had another one
that started from the Lakeview Inn, which is a new bar that we have up there. They took their side by side, left the track and went off the 22 road and crashed. And they spent most of the evening or at night laying up there because they had no way of communicating that they had a problem. And then somebody walked out and made a phone call, and so they were rescued. So this is the type of thing that's happening up there. The helmet laws are not being enforced, which, being a deputy up there, I enforced it. Children on the side-by-sides and the quads, there's a certain age that they have to have a parent with them and or somebody that has a safety certificate. And that's not being followed either. Like I said, I've been up there 24 years and I've kind of just had it with the noise and whatnot. Some of these people are my friends that ride their side-by-sides to the store or whatever. And I hope I can still be friends with them. But what's happened is they ride their quads or side-by-sides to the store. The tourists come up, oh, we can do it too. And then people actually buy property up there bring their side-by-sides and they just let their kids loose. And it's just a free-for-all. I've had kids make tracks around my house because the parents don't want to take them up to the forest and let them ride. They want them to stay in the track where they can keep an eye on them. So that's the kind of things that we're dealing with up there. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very, very good.
Okay, is there anybody else in opposition of it? Okay, I'm going to now take anybody that is in favor of the side-by-sides that's following.
I'm not sure. Oh, my name is Tony Driggs. I'm not sure if I'm opposed or for it. I think part of the problem is that I've been up there for, coming up since 82. I bought property up there in 2002. And it's a resort. It's not a township. It's not a city. It's a track it's always been known to me as a resort. And I'm against all these kids running around trying to kill themselves, but I think their parents are supposed to be taking care of them. And not the community. I don't want to see them dead. I don't want to see blood all over the place. But I've got a couple of side-by-sides and a quad. We have dirt roads that are not county approved to be taken care of. So we have to take care of our own dirt roads. That goes by my house, your house. You're only taking care of the pavement. Then there's another way too. So I'm the one that wants to ride to the store and I want to ride over here and I want to ride over there. And none of these people argue or complain when it's winter and I have a blade on that particular side-by-side and I go and help them plow out them as well as mine. But as far as the resort, we don't have that much fishing in Spalding Track anymore because the water's down. So they're looking for other ways to keep the resort open. The county makes money. The county grooms 21 in the winter to bring tourism to the county. So the way I'm looking at it is if we don't have the RV park making some resort thing, like maybe 6 times on the weekends, most of the time we have bad times is 3 holiday weekends. And if they had a side-by-side thing to bring people's money into the community and to the county, that would be an idea. What's happened is all these people that came up during the epidemic of COVID have bought property up there. And so all the rentals are basically gone, but they still resort. They only come on weekends. And one of the things were, okay, we can go and ride out in the forest. And now it's gotten absolutely carried away with their parents that are too stupid to take care of their children. So there is going to be an accident. But these are people that own property that have bringing these up more often during the year instead of just the certain holidays that we used to have a problem. So I, for one, don't want to eliminate all side-by-sides. I'd like to be able to ride on the pavement to the forest. Because they're all the ways that used to be out, there's only one way to get in and out of there now without going on the pavement. Everything else has been shut down. So how do you have anything that you can't ride on the pavement to the forest? So this is things that I'm just bringing to you so that you'll have some kind of understanding of everything that's different.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, is there anybody else that would like to speak?
Right, Jose Pena, and I'm a pro UTV rider. And listening to this, I'm looking at the economic development of it. The RV park, when they had to ride out last year and the year before, was packed, gas, food. There were probably maybe 20 local side-by-sides, and there was probably 150 out of town, sort of tack base. I always hear about there's no money for fire, there's no money for police, there's no money for this, no money for that. Everybody wants to raise, another penny, sales tax or whatever. And then here we got an opportunity to have more money brought into the county, and people are crying about it. And I, for one, I'm born and raised here and stuff, so I'm not an implant. We used to fish up there my whole life. We used to be able to go fishing there and stuff. Now you can't. They need their stuff. They look at the kids and stuff. Yeah, I'm against that too. And parents should be taking care of their own kids. And but I look at it as you look at Utah, Montana, Moab, all these other. We need to bring in more, not less. We got Westwood, we got Doyle, we got there's so much riding area out there. We lost a prison, we lost this, we lost a logging, we lost everything. So we need the money, we need the community, and if this is going to be a community, tourism, we need to bring in more. And I think we ride quite a bit all over the place. We just need to take care of the land and take care of the, and the tax base in this community would, greatly increase and stuff if we brought stuff like this in. And you guys as a board, I don't know, you guys should be championing all this. We should be champion. We should be trying to get other places to ride, other places, this and that. 6 years ago, 5 years ago, Lost Sierra trails. I don't know if anybody knows about that. They brought it up 5, 6 years ago where they wanted to link all these counties together, all these communities together, where you could ride from Susanville down to Downeyville, and stuff, and Westwood and Quincy and Portola, and bring all these communities together. I don't hear anything about it anymore. And it'd be great for one of you guys or two of you guys to look into that, see if we can bring it back, see if we can increase it. See
Wasn't
where
that
we're
just
at
for the
with it.
bicycles though, Jose?
What's that?
Wasn't that just for the bicycles?
No, it was for horses, bicycle, UTVs, ATVs, everything.
What was the name of it?
Lost Sierra Trails. And they were gonna bring everybody together and stuff, but that's what we need, Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Frank Muse. I'm coming to you as a private resident of Spalding, as the fire chief, or the seasonal manager of one of the only businesses that's are year-round up there at Eagle Lake. With the adoption of having the Strand become an OHV-approved vehicle road, it has helped us give access to the outside. It gets us to the dirt roads that go straight back to the trails to get out of Spalding, not necessarily stay in Spalding. I think it has been a huge help to hinder the OHV approved status of the Strand would require more people to have to illegally access these trails. With the increased tourism, not just for OHV, but for outdoors in general, it was amazing to see the increase this season of tourism, from extra people fishing to families that don't normally know our area to come up and go to Crater Lake, go fishing up there, go to Antelope Lookout, talk to the lookout up there, see what actual fire lookout is. you can still access all these with regular vehicles, but with OHVs, it gives the families a chance to bond, to get out and experience other forms of transportation, from electric bikes to electric motorcycles to gas powered vehicles as well. Multiple times during this season, we've had pancake breakfasts at the local fire department. Just the last one alone brought in $1,936. That was both from tourism and locals coming to visit us. That was just one of 3 pancake breakfasts we held this year. It's been amazing help with our budget, and with as little money as we have, anything helps. I think that's pretty much it. And any questions from you guys? All right. Sorry, for short.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, is there anybody else that would like to speak in favor of it?
Oh, yes.
So, hi there, my name's Ellen Stein, and I'm one of the people that drives my side-by-side to the store. And I enjoy doing that. And I follow all the rules of the road. What I think about the children and those problems is more of an enforcement issue, because those rules are already on the books. You're not supposed to ride with that kind of helmet. You're not supposed to operate that vehicle at certain ages. So my thought is, we need more enforcement of the laws that are in place to keep the children safe, rather than imposing laws that law-abiding citizens enjoy. Thanks.
Thank you. Is there anybody? Okay.
Hi, Skip Sanner. I'm a side-by-sider. Actually, my wife drives more. I just navigate. We enjoy the opportunity to go into Spalding, spend our money, fill up on gas, get the ice cream. That's pretty good. Before we go out, and then to top off when we're done, we're looking at 4 properties there. Not sure which ones. My wife's the one that goes and does all that. I just write the check. But if that's taken away, we would of course find Nevada or some other area. But I think some people have touched on it that, I think this is a local issue. And a lot of us, especially people my age, we drive the speed limit. Matter of fact, we don't go that much faster when we're on the trails. And we enjoy it. We do it. And it's, something we'll continue to do. But if we have to offload, on the county roads, we're not going to come into Spalding. We're going to go into and get our ice cream and the fuel up. And from what I hear, it sounds like there's maybe red sticker vehicles that are being used out there, which are illegal. And frankly, the noise kind of pisses me off too. All the side-by-sides are green sticker. We wear our helmets. We have a bumper system, so we enjoy the air coming through our helmets. And I hate to see, a few Hanyoks ruining it. It's kind of heartbreaking. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I am. My name is Kathy Clater. I've been in Spalding for 24 years. We need police. We need the sheriff up there. That would solve our problem. All these people that are riding illegally. The main thing is these little kids on the motorcycles, on the main roads. Even if the sheriff could come up there one day for every 3-day weekend, couple of citations, a few warnings, maybe parents would wake up. And the same thing with the side-by-sides. Some people get carried away, other people follow the rules. If we had the sheriff there, it would help. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, is there anybody else that would like to speak?
I'd like to speak, Dante Caligari, and I'm
supporting, the side-by-sides up there at Spalding Track. I do utilize it. I go up there and visit, and I have family members that own, homes up there and property up there. But one thing I'm hearing, it's nice to even hear the kids are getting outside. I've been hearing most of the time they're staying in and running their iPads and phones. So I'm all for the kids getting out. They got to protect themselves. That's the parents' duty. I hear about a lot of driving up and down, and it's kind of like people that move by airports. After a while, they don't want to hear the airplanes anymore. So we might be hearing some of that. I don't know, but they're going to be driving to the store anyways. They're probably driving up and down the road. If they're not going to drive their side by side, they'll probably be driving their vehicle. Now, are they driving 40 to 50 miles an hour in their vehicle and nobody cares? Or maybe, like that could be a law enforcement thing too. I think it's a great thing that Spalding went ahead and tried to get this approved. Most states allow side-by-sides on their streets. Reno, you can go 45 miles an hour till you hit an off-road, and then you can go riding. You got Arizona and Utah and several others. So I think one year or one time in our California life, we may see it opened up to everybody. Now, the laws do say that you have to go 45 or 90 degree across the road. But so you could still drive on pavement. You just got to go across the road at 90 degree, hit another dirt road, and go across it again. So, but anyways, I think it's a great thing that Spalding adopted this. It is a recreational area. You will see a lot of people up there. That's what recreational areas are for. I own property at the lake myself. And that's why I bought it, is so I could run my side by side all around. So I am all for it. I'm hoping you guys keep it in place.
Is there anybody else that would like to speak? Okay, yes.
Mike Carney, County Sheriff's Office. Just listening to the different complaints from, the citizens, the locals up there. It's an issue where, if this was repealed, this is only supposed to be on the Strand, right? And it gives people access to the forest land along the Strand. Whether or not this resolution is rescinded or you guys move forward with it is not going to change the problems. I've heard complaints that we need more law enforcement up there. So, which is true. We need more law enforcement all over Lassen County. But there are no sacred cows. It's the people that are plowing snow. It's the people that are going to the store. You can't have it both ways. We can't target kids that are speeding and not anybody else. And so if we get complaints from citizens up there, we're not a traffic agency. If we on view traffic violations, we'll take enforcement action. If there's an OHV sanctioned event, we have a heavy presence up there. The sheriff's office is always up there. We have Jeeps, we have side-by-sides, we have four-wheelers, we have patrol cars. We have a heavy presence up there. It's hard for us to get up there, on day-to-day activities. We have 3 deputies that patrol the county on any given shift, where the size of the state of Connecticut is tough. We refer all our traffic complaints to the Highway Patrol. They're the traffic agency, not to throw my wife under the bus, but that's just the way it is. We would love to have more people to designate and do saturation patrols and stuff like that during the weekends, stuff like that. Right now, we just can't. Not saying it's not going to happen in the future, but again, these OHV sanctioned events, I think they're a great thing. I think the resolution that allows the access to the forest on the Strand that you guys did is a great thing. We'll support the board from the sheriff's office point of view. Whatever you guys decide, if you rescind it or continue on with it, great. But again, there are no sacred cows. So if you guys want enforcement action, then everybody's subject to it. That's all I have.
Thank you.
It's correct. I'm very sympathetic to what they're saying. We feel the same way, whether we're in Doyle, whether it's Westwood, everybody's redheaded stepchildren. We got, like you said, 3 deputies at any given time, sometimes 2, patrolling the county the size of the state of Connecticut. It's very tough. I know you guys have a very heavy presence during these events. And I don't know, I'm very sympathetic as well, because, my kids like to ride too, and I'd rather them not be stuck on a screen. I'd rather us be outside enjoying the hill. Of course, I live at the base of an OHV park, so, I'm not riding on roads to get there, but maybe there's some way, I mean, of course you can't commit to anything, but poking around up there, see if there's kids riding wheelies ever so often. I mean, I know you can't commit.
Sure.
But maybe ever so often the sheriff's department could run up there and see what's going on.
We absolutely can do that. Yeah.
Right. With no heavy commitment.
Right. Yeah. I can't say when, but if we get, somebody freed up, we could definitely take a couple passes through there.
And your wife hired all these new people. She could help.
Yeah. No, we don't have a problem with that. We want to, just because of where you live, everybody in the county deserves the same degree of service, in my opinion. And just based on, some community, like, Spalding has the OHV problems, Doyle has different problems, Westwood had different, other problems. So, just because of where you live, you deserve the same degree of service. It's just, we have to prioritize is all. And so if we get freed up, I don't have a problem sending people through there to make a couple passes and see what we can come up with.
That would be my comment as well, that a weekend directed patrol every now and then, like Mrs. Clater said, would probably resolve 90% of the complaint. If you write 1 or 2 tickets or whatever, people figure it out. But when there's no enforcement and it's gone the way it has, it grows and gets worse. And free for all. And this resolution was intended for people to be on the strand, leading that to the trails, and that's great.
Right.
But it's all over town, or it's all over the area. It's not just on the strand anymore.
Right.
No, that's part of the physical enforcement.
Yeah, and it's in Westwood and Doyle as well, and we're gonna be ramping up some targeted patrols. As soon as we have that DUI cannabis grant, I don't have a problem sending a team up there to do some saturated patrols. But again, if we're going to stop all violators, we're going to take enforcement action on all violators, and that might cause a ruckus as well. So like I said, we're not going to pick and choose who we're citing. We're not going to target kids, that are trying to have a good time, or elderly that are trying to get to the store, but ask and you shall receive.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Be careful what you say for them.
Yes, Gary.
I understand your comments. And I sympathize because dirt bikes was part of my life when I was younger. But at the same time, you can't do that in Susanville, in the city limits.
I agree with you.
And if you're gonna enforce the law, there's gonna be unhappy people because they got reprimanded with a fine. There's gonna be unhappy people that are going slow, but it's still against the law. This was for a weekend. And that's the problem. People got used to it.
Yeah.
And whether it's right or wrong, that's what it was intended for.
Right. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, the resolution is for the strand alone, and it's dual use. So it's year round. It's not just for.
Oh, it is. I thought, okay, then I'm wrong on that.
Right.
Okay.
Why do they have to get a permit to do the poker run?
Idea what that's much serious.
Maury, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't when you have an event like that, it's part of the planning?
I believe so, yeah. I believe it. The use permit was.
A use permit from the plans commission is why they need it.
That's separate. I mean, even if there was no ordinance or no.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
And Pete
I'm
lived
sorry,
this
I
here,
thought that was just the weekend.
this too, so if there's anything different, that's how I remember it. There was a use permit, that was part of the project, so that's why it's
having the event. Yeah, responses. And it is correct, it's 24/7, 365 for the strand.
Okay.
And access. And just to add one more point, I don't think the ATV issue, this creating the strand, allowing that use, I believe the ATV issue or whatever, if it is an issue or not, predates this resolution, creating this access for the HV folks.
Yeah, but before this resolution even came in, did you ever get any complaints that
We very
people
rarely get any complaints.
were riding, up there?
No, and if we did, we'd refer it to the highway patrol.
She got her hand up.
Okay, and the highway patrol has got complaints. So I'm assuming was the way the hand.
Mine too.
I'm the one that called.
I thought Labor Day week.
Okay, so before the resolution, there was a problem. So, my other question is to you is, so those side by sides and motorcycles, they can't ride. They can't ride away from the problem. So if there was a complaint and the sheriff's department had other priorities and everything, and when they could break away, you could probably send somebody up there because those violators are going to be there unless they trailer their vehicle out of there. So, I mean, there's going to be quite a bit of time lapse that somebody could say, hey, these people are violating, make a complaint, and they aren't going to be able to just like get in the car and race back to Susanville or Westwood or whatever.
Right.
They're going to
Well,
have
yeah,
to load up
Sure.
there and take time to get away from the problem.
Right. And again, if traffic complaints come into our dispatch center, 99% of the time, we're not going to take them. You know, it just listening to the complaints here, we would forward them over to CHP and let them handle it. That's their forte. It's not ours. We would, like I said, if we on viewed violations, we take enforcement action. If we're passing through Spalding and we see OHVs on the roadways where they're not supposed to be, speeding or whatever, DUIs, we'll take enforcement action. But just general everyday complaints about motorcycles, ATVs, side by sides on the roadways, we're going to forward it to CHP.
I'd like to hear from the CHP. You know, about it.
The problem doesn't usually happen except on weekends.
Yeah. And it's usually
Okay,
Because
hey,
they are
wait,
tourists
wait,
coming
wait,
to
wait,
their
wait.
town.
Okay, if for the public, if you want to speak, I have to recognize you.
Sorry.
And you will come to the podium and state your name and you will have 3 minutes. Okay, this isn't a back and forth part of it, but we do want to hear your opinion, and so
Are you guys done?
yeah, we're done. Thank you.
Yes, I understand what he's talking about. Tony Bruce here again, and I apologize.
No, that's fine.
Now I forgot my whole train of thought. It only happens mostly on the weekends. And,
Can you state your name for the record
I did,
again?
Tony Driggs.
Thank you.
So it's like we don't, he's kind of sounding like he has to be there all the time. Like she said, once a weekend on a 3-day holiday. We have a ghost town, basically. And you can drive up and down, there's nobody there. If it's Sunday, everybody goes to the dump. Okay, then you have the 4th of July, we have 3 days of trailers coming in and people and noise and parties and dinners and a great time. And that's when everything is turmoiled, loud. 3 days later, you go outside and the birds are whistling and you know, everything's fine. So it's not like it's a constant thing. No, I'm just telling you, it's not constant. Thank you for your time.
And Mrs. Conway, yes.
Lacey Carney, Lieutenant Commander of the Susanville CHP office. So we have received traffic complaints in Spalding since I have started working here 6 years ago. So those have not increased or decreased since the passing of the resolution whatsoever. To your point, sir, about traffic violations, if they're not observed by the officer cannot take action upon it. So you're saying like they're still in the area, maybe they're parked at home now, that kind of stuff. Unless another citizen wants to do a citizen's arrest, can we even go make contact with that party if it's something that we don't observe? If it's not a misdemeanor or above, so a traffic violation, for example. So what they're saying is the busy weekends, right? The busy weekends for the Highway Patrol are 4th of July, Memorial Day, and those. So our resources are dedicated to saving lives, injury crashes, those types of things. And those have not been happening in Spalding or along the Strand in particular. So this year alone, we've taken 264 crash reports and 0 were in Spalding or on the Strand. So CHP is going to dedicate our resources to where the traffic crashes, the injury and fatal traffic crashes are happening, especially on holiday weekends. This is a problem in Westwood, Janesville, Chester, the entire area that Susanville Highway Patrol patrols is off-highway vehicles on roadways. But there is no difference. So the person who wants to call and complain that a kid is riding their side-by-side is the same person who's trying to push snow with a plow in their ATV in their driveway, or along the main road. And that is the same violation. So we can't have that. Well, come up on the holiday weekends and really have, wreak enforcement on these out of towners. Yeah, I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to use my ATV with a plow where I'm not supposed to. So we can't have it both ways. But as a standpoint for traffic complaints, we receive them. They're documented. We have to send an officer there at least 3 times. They notate what violations were observed. We report back to the reporting party what actions were taken. So we do receive them. We've received them prior to the resolution being passed. We still receive them today. And that's our action on them.
So your action is that you receive a report, you document that, you send a unit out?
We send a unit 3 times to the area. They document their enforcement, what time they got there, how long they stayed, if they issued any citations, if they observed any violations. Then we also have it tracked back to the reporting party where we report back to them on our actions. Unfortunately, again, holiday weekends, when we get that traffic complaint, is CHP's busiest time of the year where we're handling major injury crashes, DUIs, things like that. So the availability to send someone on a dime when they see that kid going down the street and get there in time is likely not going to happen.
Well, I can't see it going out there on the 4th of July, but there are lots of other weekends where the same things are happening and probably less busy than the 4th of July. Perhaps direct patrols at some point.
We do. We go up there. We do. Yes, sir.
I'm done.
Jason?
I see you guys everywhere. I'm not at the Spalding at the Strand either, but I know you're all over 395 and I appreciate your presence. It's calmed down a lot of, you're not going to fix stupid, but a lot of stupid drivers. I know you guys can give heavy citations. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So,
May I speak one more time?
yeah, you got 2 minutes.
You got it. Thank you, sir. I just want to clarify.
Can you state your name again?
Brian Kahn, I'm sorry about that.
That's
I
okay.
just want to
Thank you.
clarify on the Strand. The Strand at one end is a bird sanctuary. You can't go past it. The Strand on the other end is Pine Creek, protected area by BLM signs. How do you go to the trails from the Strand? That's all. If you guys can look that up on the map yourselves, you'll see what I'm saying. And that's all I want to say. Thank you.
Okay, so, anybody else? Yes, Mr. Obama.
First off, I want to just say thank you for you guys coming in and voicing your, either your concerns or your support, whatever. I mean, I know it's a commitment, and just thank you guys for doing that. Just like anything else we do up here, you do something you think's right, but then you don't always see the unintended consequences. Just like the enforcement issue, if you want enforcement, there can be unintended consequences there, because you might be the guy getting the ticket too, for being a good person and plowing somebody else's driveway for the snow. So I know it's hard and I know it's difficult, but please know that at least I do the best that I can with the information that I have. And Mike, I just want to say thank you for listening to constituents and bringing this forward, and so we know about it. And that's, information is knowledge and knowledge is power. And so thank you guys for doing that. Thank you guys for making the time to be here.
Anybody else?
Real quick.
No, I'm not taking any more public comment.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I am in full support of this resolution. I've lived here all my life, and I think that, and then I own property in Spalding. And so I think that it's a very good deal for the community. You know, it it's unfortunate that parents, because to operate a UTV, you have to be 16 years old. And it's the parents' responsibility to make sure that their child wears the proper safety equipment. It's it's not it's not law enforcement's job to be the parent of the children that are not wearing their helmets. So the parents need to step up and take enforcement of either the child wears a helmet or they don't. And I grew up on motorcycles, and I thank God that my parents were responsible enough to make me wear a helmet, because I had many crashes that I wouldn't be here if I wasn't wearing that helmet. And even in a boat, you know, as a kid, you're supposed to wear a life jacket. And it's your parents' responsibility to make sure that you wear a life jacket. And another time, thank God that I was wearing a life jacket, because my dad tipped the boat over and I was out there bobbing around in the middle of the lake at 4 or 5 years old and would have drowned. So, you know, we've heard that that there's kids out there riding without helmets and everything. You know, I mean, that I feel sorry for those parents if those kids ever were to get hurt. The UTVs bring in a lot of money in this community, and that's why I think it's a good deal that they come in and spend money and help support. And the county needs every bit of money that comes into this community. There is in the resolution, there is a speed limit. They're supposed to be going 15 miles an hour. And it's supposed to be, we should have it posted out there. And when I'm out there, I see people driving in their vehicles, not just in their side-by-sides, but in their vehicles, speeding up and down. So them going to the store, whether they're taking a side-by-side or a vehicle, you're going to have that traffic.
Yeah,
And Spalding, it's my turn, sir. And Spalding was designed as a recreation spot for this community. That is why those lots are so small. They were designed for a small camp trailer. That's why you have to have 5 or 6 lots in order to build a house. So that was the whole design for Spalding, was a recreation center. And that's what it is today. It's a recreation center out there. And it brings in money for this community. You know, I just think that that we can't fix what parents aren't enforcing, and I think that this resolution is good. It's an avenue to be able to get out onto the forest land, and if people are abusing that privilege, you know, I mean, shame on them. And you know, if, when I'm out there and I see it, you know, I mean, I'll follow people to their place and say, hey, you know what? Knock it off, you know, don't ruin it for everybody else. So that's all I got. Does anybody else have anything?
I would just say that, having got, received the complaints personally, that's why I wanted to have this on the agenda today, to have the discussion and have the information come out and help, our law enforcement partners, be more aware of what's happening out there, to see if there's any way we can, mitigate that with additional patrols or directed patrol or something like that to help the people out. But the bottom line is that, Spalding is a resort area. There are economic benefits, and that's why this resolution was started to begin with. And apart from, a much heavier law enforcement presence, to modify this or rescind it in any way would be of no benefit, because people are still, this is just talking about the Strand. The rest of the community, and like has been mentioned, whether it's Westwood or Lake Forest or a lot of other places, people are doing the same thing. And there's no particular law enforcement involvement there. And unless there really is, it's going to continue just to be that. So try and modify would be, I think, of no point. So I didn't know where this was exactly going to go. I want to make it a point to hear constituents out, and I think we've done that. And so I'd make a motion. I don't know if you need a motion or not, but
There's nothing on the floor. It's just to provide direction to staff. So
okay.
There's no direction.
And I don't think there's any direction to staff.
Sure.
I got one other question.
Yes, sir.
Is it posted out there, Pete, with the speed limit signs?
Like I said, I don't think it is. Well, maybe for the regular, 25, but I don't think for the, OHV vehicles. There's no specific sign, when we were first talking about this resolution, we we're going through that process. It's, out there, so we were looking at some different, locations that have created those signs and stuff, so we put them up, but I think that's gonna fall back to the people they're gonna follow the rules, and those don't, and it's, it's a few bad apples tend to, ruin it for everybody else sometimes. But yes, we can revisit posting those signs up here.
Yeah.
Just says it's basically it's a UTV or OHV corridor, and that's, designated for it, so.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Can the 15-mile-an-hour speed limit without an OHV sign, can it even be enforced? Without a sign saying you can't go faster than 15 miles per hour? I think
That's the law enforcement folks
that might be a
question, because that's getting into, that's like a rural road.
Right.
What the minimum, I don't believe that would fall under speed study up there. It's like a residential. I'm not gonna speak out of turn to them. So residential is typically 25.
Right. I just wonder how enforceable it is. Sure, it's in a resolution, but if the people aren't aware that it's 15 miles an hour.
Oh, I see what you're asking.
Then how can it be enforced?
Correct. Yeah. And I don't know, and it's this, the OHV, the way that's, I'd have to go back and revisit the way that code's written, specifically, and what the, how they would enforce that. So it would be back to, again, sheriff's department can't do the speed because they don't do speed.
Right.
So it's a CHP thing where they would be if they're trying to clock somebody.
Right. I'm just wondering how you enforce something that's not.
Yeah, and that would be, probably, they could probably argue that in court right now if they went to court and we had a ticket for it, but.
Right.
So we'll revisit getting the signs up, and just kind of one of those things that slips through our wraps, as things go wrong.
Okay, thank you. So, we'll move on to, okay. We need to take a 5-minute break.
Thank you.
Thank you, folks, for coming out.
Yeah.
All right, we're live.
Okay, we're bringing it back up and we're going to move to H2. Office of Auditor, Controller, Tax Collector, Urgent Ordinance Amendment. And
2024-02 subject, consider adoption of an urgency ordinance amending ordinance number 2024-02, an ordinance of the county of Lassen repealing the consolidated offices of auditor, controller, treasurer, tax collector to change the effective dates on section 2 and section 3 from the January 4th, 2027 to October 31st, 2025. The remainder of the ordinance will remain unchanged. There's no fiscal impact. We're asking you today to introduce and waive the reading of and adopt and enact ordinance by 4/5 vote and or provide direction to staff. And basically, this is to separate the offices that were combined some time back.
and we have people that are gonna fill that.
You have subsequent of this item, you have 2 potential applicants sitting in this room.
All right.
Well, I make a motion to waive the reading and adopt the ordinance.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion made by Supervisor Scanlon, seconded by Supervisor Bridges. Anybody from the public? Okay, yes.
So on this, we do this, this is only gonna be effective until the next election cycle, right?
Correct. So that ordinance already says that. So this is,
Okay.
you've already ordered the elections. It just wasn't effective until January, but given the retirement date of the current person is October 31st, then we need to move that date.
So this is,
So it can be filled
okay, this will stay filled until
next election,
next election.
next year.
This will be next year, so this will take us through to January 27, where the
Yes.
the new one will be sworn in
Correct.
to the elected one.
Any other discussion? Okay, we need a roll call vote, Michelle.
Supervisor Scanlon,
Yes.
Supervisor Bridges,
Yes.
Supervisor Alba,
Aye.
Supervisor Ingram,
Hi.
Supervisor Neely.
Yes.
Done deal.
Okay. We're moving on to H4, Lassen County Grand Jury Response.
You want
That's fine. So before you, this is something that's done annually. You have, the grand jury report came out and requested certain responses from the Board of Supervisors with regard to the one, I believe it was just one report. One aspect of that report that required or requested responses. You have them before you in draft form. Happy to entertain any questions, modifications.
I agreed with it though. Answered well.
Ken? Yes.
I agreed with the responses you responded to. I was, I think we should have a response in there for as far as when they looked into the fair. That I don't think they looked into that very closely and just kind of whitewashed it, which is kind of disappointing to me in my opinion.
Yeah, they didn't ask for any response, to my recollection from the county.
They wanted to report, so I mean, give them a report, but they didn't do very good due diligence in the research. Because the stuff that they asked for with the DA, I mean, they should have known we had no say on some of that stuff, but yet they expect us to do so anyway. And then you got the fair thing, but they didn't even request a response, so they didn't do their due diligence on that, which was disappointing to me. And I think we ought to have something in there about that.
my 2 cents, but
Anybody else?
I was surprised with, grand jury came to what she did about the fair, given all the, information we've gotten at different points, but, that's not going anywhere anyway, so I think the letter's fine. Moving on.
Okay, so, we're going to direct staff to, send the letter as written.
So yeah, the motion would be to authorize the chairman to execute the letter, send reply.
I'll make that motion.
Okay. Motion made by Supervisor Bridges,
Second it.
second by Supervisor Scanlon. Public comment? Okay, seeing none. We'll bring it back up here for a vote. Mr. Elbaugh.
No.
Everybody else? Aye.
Aye.
Jason?
Aye.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
I think you don't say. I'm sorry, Supervisor.
I did that a little
Was
backwards.
that a no?
Firm negative.
Hard pass. Okay.
It's not.
Okay.
It's done, it's a done deal. That's all that matters.
All right, we are moving on to H5.
Mr. Chairman, can we move to H6? Sam has stepped away. That was going to be, H5 was going to be her, I think.
Okay,
Um,
H6.
Yeah, so, more importantly, I don't have any information, so let's move to H7. I went to RC, it was really informative, as well as, I went to Prism in San Diego with our personnel director, with my deputy, and that was also very informative. A little, heady at times, but very informative. But with that, I'd move to 7, please.
Yeah, did you bring back anything?
Cold. Yeah, just a cold. I don't blame the event. I blame Southwest.
Okay,
Sounds like you were in a germ wagon.
Yeah, pretty much.
okay, we are moving on to H7.
Okay, so this is treasurer tax collector appointment. The subject, make an appointment to fill the vacancy of the Lassen County treasurer tax collector. The fiscal impact, no increase to the general fund, as it's been allocated in our budget. And we're asking for you to appoint a treasurer tax collector or provide direction to staff. You might recall, there is an applicant in this room today that you interviewed, and it's the pleasure of the board at this point.
So we need to appoint that person?
That's the ask, is appoint the treasurer tax collector. You might want to bring them forward.
That's
so
what
that
I
we
was
can-
thinking.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do they have a name?
Yeah, I think they should come up and introduce themselves.
All right, can we have the applicant tax treasurer tax collector?
Tell us who you are.
I'm Taya Short, the applicant for treasurer tax collector.
Are you nervous?
Not as nervous as I was on Wednesday.
Must be doing something wrong.
Make a motion to appoint Taya Short to the treasurer tax collector.
Okay, motion made by Supervisor Ingram, second by Supervisor Scanlon. Is there anybody from the public? Okay, bring it back up here for comments. Mr. Albaugh.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Do you have all the qualifications and prerequisites necessary to fulfill this
I do.
appointment until?
I missed you on Wednesday.
I know.
No, you didn't.
Can I tell you something real quick on that? You know, if you ever have to get a hold of me, please don't email me.
Okay.
Because I don't look at emails. You have to call me.
Deal.
You can send me the email, but call me and tell me that I have an email.
Okay.
That is way more helpful. I thought I had all the staff here at the county trained, but obviously not quite because we have numbers. Sorry.
Well, you weren't in that position yet.
I know.
See, now you know.
So now you know. So you've been forewarned.
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
Is there any, yes,
I'm excited to have you in this position. I really am. I think that it's a win for the county. And I think it's a win for you.
I
I
am
think
very
you've been
excited.
preparing yourself for this for quite some time. And we're anxious to see you in that position. And I think you're anxious to jump right in the middle of it and do what you can do.
I am, and I appreciate it.
And I really thank you for applying, and you knocked it out of the park on the interview.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
yes.
I'm assuming you're gonna get it put in today, but just assuming, I'm assuming there's 4 other, but anyway. As you go forward with this.
I'm so scared what's coming down.
What was?
As you move forward, because this is an elected position, you're gonna be appointed to, it's gonna be elected. And so you're free to do whatever you so desire. And that has caused problems sometimes in the past. So if you ever have problems, I would encourage you to go to the CAO if you're having problems or issues to help get resolution. So this stuff isn't just gonna get put on the back burner and et cetera. Because the more everybody knows about the problems or whatever the issue may be, it can get addressed appropriately and you can be much more effective. Because I know we've had this problem in the past with some other electeds. And so, I don't want to see you fail because of that. So please know that you have our support.
I do know.
Yeah. Okay.
I have been through a lot with you guys. I am
Yeah.
fully aware.
Okay. I just wanted to reiterate that. Please.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, it's my turn.
Yeah.
All right. No, I appreciate all the hard work that you've done to prepare yourself for this appointment. And I also want to for you to know that as long as I'm on the board and that, if there is any problems that to come and we need that open communication with the board and everything. So, feel free to reach out to us because that's what we should be here for, is to help each other out.
I agree.
So. All right, with that, we need a roll call vote on it.
Yes.
Okay. Michelle, roll call vote, please.
Supervisor Scanlon,
Yes.
Supervisor Bridges,
Yes.
Supervisor Alba.
Yes.
Supervisor Ingram,
Hi.
Supervisor Neely.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I
Good job.
appreciate you all.
Go forth and conquer.
Yes.
All right. Moving on to number 8 then, variation on the theme, auditor appointment. Make an appointment to fill the vacancy of Lassen County Auditor. No increase to general fund as costs have been budgeted in the 2025-26 fiscal year. The action requested is to appoint an auditor or provide direction to staff. There happens to be an applicant in the audience. I would encourage you to bring her forward.
Okay, can we have that applicant?
Who is the applicant?
Hey,
Hey.
Stephanie Horanek, current assistant auditor and applicant for the audit control.
Any questions? Yes.
Same question. Do you have all the qualifications and meet the prerequisites to hold this job?
I do.
Very good. The other question it's not a question, it's a statement. If you're having problems or something else, please come to the CAO and identify the problems and he can bring it to the board or whatever, so you can get the help and support that you need. Because your office in particular struggle for not doing that. It's an elected position. So anyway, I would hope that you would break the chain and start doing that.
Yes, I definitely will.
Thank you.
I believe that. I really do. I've worked in the same building with you quite a bit, and you're 100% ready for this, in my opinion.
Thank you.
No, I'm very pleased that you're going to be appointed to this. You've been very helpful. And I think the county's better off with both of you as we move forward. So, good deal.
Anybody else?
I've got one more question. You think, because your departments work together, you think you two can get along?
Definitely.
I
Sometimes.
kind of knew that. Anyway,
Of course.
I had to be a little silly there, so.
No, it's great.
I already knew the answer.
I've been working with Taya for probably over 10 years, and we are a little dynamic duo.
Kind of like this, huh?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think we'll be great together.
All right, and I just wanted to say again, I appreciate, all your hard work, that you had to do to, not only accomplish, to, prepare yourself for the position, but also to, have that office, ready to, take on one of the most hugest project that Lassen County, in my opinion, has endured. And you guys did a great job, and just I can't thank you. I mean, enough. So, and if you ever have any problems, make sure and come to the board, and so that we can work out if there's problems. We can work together to resolve all of those problems.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
With that, I'd make a motion to appoint an auditor.
Okay, motion made by Supervisor Bridges.
Put Stephanie.
Can you say
Okay.
your
Oh.
name?
Well, I want Stephanie in there.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, you want to redo that?
Okay. Well, I want to make a motion to appoint Stephanie as our new auditor.
There you go.
Thank you.
I'll second that now.
Okay.
Well, that smile, I knew who I was talking about.
All right. So motion made by Supervisor Bridges, second by Supervisor Alba. Is there anybody from the public that would like to comment? Seeing none, we'll bring it back up here for a roll call vote.
Supervisor Scanlon,
Yes.
Supervisor Bridges,
Yes.
Supervisor Alba,
Yes. All right.
Supervisor Ingram, Supervisor Neely.
Yes. All
Congratulations.
right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Okay. Back to H5. Okay, we are going to do H5 now.
Please.
That's good.
Hello, members of the board, Cheyenne Rule. I'm here to present to you our, a potential contract with vendor Civic Plus for a new county website. I put together a website committee at the beginning of this process. We put it out to RFP. We got a response from 7 vendors, and Civic Plus won by a landslide. So,
Let me clarify real fast. So Cheyenne did a lot of work here, stood up an independent website committee, let department heads and stakeholders from each of our departments be part of this, go through demos, be able to see all of the vendors and try to be able to figure out what best met all of their individual needs, because each department has such a significant need. So this was a very significant undertaking that Cheyenne has facilitated. So there was a lot of work. She did very much sold herself, because it was a lot of work for her. And she did stand up an entire committee to do this, so that our entire county and all the department heads felt really confident in the decision that we are presenting today.
Thank you.
thank you, Sam.
When you say that this company won by a landslide, what stood out about them?
Everything, I think they won in almost every category. I created a scoring sheet, a weighted scoring sheet, based on what our priorities were. Our top priorities were usability for our end users. Our county staff, how easy was it for them to update our content? It was, our biggest one was digital accessibility because we are required to be compliant with ADA and WCAG content guidelines online on all of our online content. So our website, any videos we post online, everything by April of 2027. So that coming down the line is kind of what initiated this change. The Civic Plus company specializes in digital accessibility. Like that is something that is top of their minds all the time. And they also are built for public sector organizations in general. So they do cities, counties, local government, and they do like everybody. I have a few examples for you guys at the request of Supervisor Scanlon, if you guys would like to look at them. For example, Plumas County is a huge one. They are our neighbors. They use Civic Plus. They have a lot of really cool plugins in theirs, but this is just an example of what our website could look like. Another neighbor, Shasta County, has Civic Plus as well. So another example of what our website could look like. Another neighbor, Butte County.
A lot of similarities between them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they kind of have a similar feel, a lot of similar navigation too. So, I mean, compare that to our current website. They won in every way, like I said, but the biggest one and the most important to us is compliance with digital accessibility. So the ADA web accessibility guidelines.
And if I may again, HSS pushed that really hard. They have civil rights audits that they have to complete. This requires them to have this type of stuff available and accessible to all of their clients. So that was a big push for HSS. They were willing to pony up the money to help pay for a lot of that because they need it so badly.
It's required by state, isn't it?
It's coming to be required, but they have their own requirements that make it a little bit more difficult that they have to do throughout their audits. So they were pushing a lot of this as well. They're a big stakeholder in this for this reason.
Who does our website though?
It is a company called Matzman Isom. They're out of Chico. They're just a small development company. It is on a platform called Drupal, and which is really outdated. It's like our website really should have been redone 5-7 years ago.
I've never heard that.
Many years.
You're the only one.
What you guys cannot see behind the screen, this is what it looks like for everybody to go on there. But when we go in and log in as users, it actually becomes more of like a WordPress format where if you don't know exactly how to upload and how to change things, it's very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And with our turnover, it's really difficult for us to train new people on how to get the content up. There's certain panes that you can edit, certain ones you can't. It's all very frustrating, which means that burden has largely gone to Regina and myself to update for the entire county as well as ISD, because it's just so not user friendly. But to make a big change like this, as you can see, is a big cost and time undertaking. So we are now doing it, but it is long overdue. And to Mattson Isom's benefit, this is just an outdated website. I mean, this is kind of one of the ones that you can go get like off a GoDaddy type of situation. So it's just not where we could be, but they have been good partners to us. If we have problems, they go and do the best that they can to fix it. It's just not a great workable platform.
Yeah, and they don't specialize in county government. They do a lot of private businesses, and that's typically the type of websites that they're building. And so I don't really think that they're great partners, but I don't really think that they are the most understanding of what our needs are in order to meet them.
Will there be the ability to put a link on whatever the new website is? I mean, right now, if you go to YouTube, you can look us up and watch the meetings. But when you look at the current website, it'll tell you that the video or the audio are not available. I'm looking at it right now. And,
Really?
Cheyenne, he's looking at Legistar,
Oh.
where you go to the agenda.
right.
That
Okay.
says not available.
So that's kind of a different conversation of how we're archiving our streams. We don't use that platform for that right now.
But Cheyenne, since you have a moment, let's take a chance. This is something we've been educating a lot of the public members on, myself especially with Legistar lately, because I'm like, go look it up yourself. You guys have all of this power at your hands. Go do it. But so this is where the public will go and find our agenda and our minutes. But we have made a separate link. So this is for the live streaming meeting today, and then this takes it to the YouTube. So if you have your constituents ask about availability, there are links on this website, so make sure to direct them towards that. However, we will be streamlining that a little bit better. It will not interface with Granicus though. So if you go to the minutes link and the agenda, you won't be able to pull the minutes up there because we didn't go the Granicus way. We went the YouTube way for now until we could figure out if we wanted to migrate fully to Granicus.
Okay.
So you can pull that one up.
Yeah, so
right
you,
now,
if
Mike?
you need, you can just go to
Yeah, right
YouTube
here.
here.
I know, but for Lassen County Board of Supervisors meeting.
Yeah, when I pulled it
recording,
up, it showed the videos for the last 5 or 10 meetings.
but it doesn't show us live right now.
No, so we're live on Teams right now. And then I'll have to upload.
And that's only accessed through all of the county departments, not for the public.
No, it's accessible publicly.
It's a link to YouTube.
Oh,
This is a link through Teams. And anybody can access Teams. Anybody can use the platform to watch our stream.
So now that just another quick PSA, since we didn't really cover this as fully as I guess we should have. So in that first link, it's going to come out of Teams. So we broadcast our meetings through Teams through a town hall, which is similar to Zoom, but we like it a lot better. It makes a lot more sense for us. Then once we have that live meeting, it goes away and is archived by our ISD department onto YouTube so that everyone can access it. But anybody can go on and access that town hall meeting when it's actually going on. When it's done, it's going to go onto YouTube. So it's very time dependent on which.
That's
time
the
you're gonna
story,
play.
basically.
Yes.
Okay.
So I like that all those other counties that she showed you, they all have kind of a similar pattern, and it's a nomenclature that obviously works. And that's why I think this is a really great idea, because it's very similar. We're all going to be kind of similar, and it makes dummies that have trouble finding things online. It makes it a little easier.
Notice he's
It's
looking
way-
at all of us.
It's so much more simplistic. I didn't point at anybody.
Hey, I'm tech challenged.
And I again, I want to echo what Sam said. Cheyenne's just thrown herself into this, and it took a lot of work to get to consensus and everybody. I mean, even though everybody agreed this was the one, that took a lot of work to get there, and she's really been working hard, and I appreciate it. I would have just taken her recommendation, but whatever. Yeah, we have to be here.
Yeah,
It's your money.
it's really nice to have everybody involved from all over the county too, because all the different departments have different needs and they have different opinions and thoughts, and it's important to me that they all look at all of the references for like their specific department and get familiarized on what their options are and what their sites can look like, because there is so much to it and there's a lot of decisions that need to be made that website committee will be making together as a group. This is one of my favorite is Humboldt County. They have a lot of really great features. They emphasize a lot of emergency information. I think that would be really beneficial for us to leverage as well. But I really like the layout of their website. I find it very user-friendly, easy to navigate, easy to search for exactly what you need. This is just the front page, but
I haven't heard that about the one we're using right now. I get a lot of complaints on it,
yeah.
and I totally understand why.
Mhm.
Because I get on there and I'm like Aaron, it's Greek.
Yeah.
But I can't find somebody called Michelle.
Yeah.
So is this gonna make it easier for somebody that say wants to get a building permit or a well permit, so they don't, if they live in Doyle or Big Valley, you don't have to drive all the way down here to fill it out in person. Can they just do it online?
That's up to that department.
So we're already doing some of those already, so it will make it, the interchange will be better. Everything is clunky that we do, and this is an effort to stop being clunky and hard to understand. That program in SmartGov is complicated enough that we have clunkiness in it. But yeah, hopefully this will just be a click to get to that, but that is its own process.
I would say it will be easier to find that process.
I would say that too.
That's huge. That's really huge.
This is definitely taking us out of the 20th century and into the 21st century. Appreciate all your hard work, Cheyenne.
Very exciting.
So how many people are you gonna have trained up for this? Cause it's limited to 12 attendees. Is that gonna be sufficient or not sufficient?
Leave the reference to 12 attendees was to something else. Where are you seeing that?
On the front page. The 3 hours and 12 attendees.
Under.
I don't think that every single user will need to attend the initial training with the company, because we can definitely pass on that information. I plan, like, through the process of building this website, it's going to be probably a 6 to 8 month process. I plan to get fully sufficient myself able to train all staff necessary as well. So we're not necessarily going to rely on Civic Plus training all of our staff on how to use the website.
To clarify further, in the past, what we did with our old website is we had department liaisons, and those department liaisons were trained in the websites, and then they were the ones that added all the content. So as a department had needs, they would go to their specific liaison. I would imagine we would do the same thing with this as well. But a lot of people have been trained by osmosis. When I first started with the county, I worked as a probation officer. There was no need for me to be on the website. And as I promoted, then ISD had to come and sit down with me and hold my hand and teach me how to use the website. So that will naturally happen. That 12 people will try to prioritize them. It'll probably be the entire IT department, and then the heavy hitters, the ones that need to update it the most, so that they can hear that. And then we'll go out and have essentially 12 trainers to go out and train the trainers.
You project this to be a 6-month process or 8-month process? Or
I was quoted just very rough estimate, because we don't really know until we start the project and start scheduling resources. But I was quoted June next year would be when we go live on our new website.
That's pretty good time, really, for what you're doing.
And how's the payment structure gonna be, on that to go live? I mean, what, are you gonna give them 100%? Hopefully we go live in June, or are you gonna give them part of the money, and then when we go live and your 12 people are trained fully in this, then we pay them the money?
I believe the contract states that the initial amount is due up front.
Yeah, it's a 3-year contract in installments. So
I know, but I have a hard time with paying these companies money, and they say we're going live, and it's not happening.
You want that carrot hanging out in front of you.
Yeah, I don't, my mistrust is past experience. Yeah, exactly. And I still can't get that bad taste out of my mouth.
well, I mean, for a vendor, you've got to give them an upfront amount for them to get started.
Right.
And it's going to take them, that's for the first year, but in the first 6 months or 8 months, you'll see it happen or not. And, it comes down to June or July, their next payment's going to be coming up or not. If they're not doing it, then they're going to breach a contract.
And the problem is vendors don't take IOUs.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to pay you up front, obviously, but
If I may, Mr. Chairman, I understand your great hesitation considering the great Tyler debacle of 2018. However, we do have a lot of partner counties that have used them. So Plymouth County is very close to us, and we have the city of Susanville is transitioning to them. And right now, they're, I believe, in their integration process at the moment. I have not heard any complaints. So whereas on the county level, many people have heard lots of Tyler complaints. We've not heard them about Civic Plus, but yes, it is a contract. We will probably have to pay them all their one-time fees to get that implementation going and moving forward. And then we will be able to hold them accountable through the contract.
I've got a list of, Cheyenne sent this to me, but 6 or 7 or 8 public entities all around us that use these guys, and if they weren't producing and getting it done, they wouldn't have all that. So,
Yeah.
they've got a track record and.
So do they rate them at 4 stars or 5 stars?
7. Beauty is the eyes of the beholder.
I've spoke to my colleagues at other counties many times about their websites because it's a huge topic of conversation given the looming deadline to be compliant with ADA. They all have nothing but good things to say. And I can say I've really only heard like 2 vendors in the state of California for counties, unless they like made one themselves. It's either Civic Plus or Granicus. And they have nothing but nice things to say about Civic Plus. I haven't heard a single bad experience.
Not to be too ignorant, but how can it be ADA on a website? What makes it ADA compliant?
Lots of things. Like it gets very nitty gritty, from the spacing of the words to the ability to change your font size on the website, so you can get it bigger. Built-in screen readers in case you are all blind and it'll read the screen to you. You can change the font size or the font, not font size, the font type. Mm-hmm. So if you were dyslexic, there's a dyslexic specific font. There's so many things that go into it. There's the contrast of the colors, the specific colors picked. There's only so many that some people have a hard time seeing.
I'm just trying to picture what's ADA compliant and how many blind people get on their computer. But anyway.
Yeah, that's a good point, because Tiffany came to us and that was one of the state's requirement in her contract, that the font size had to be a certain amount. And so that, that's a good reminder. Thank you, Cheyenne.
Yeah, people who have a hard time seeing still need public services. They still need to figure out how to get their building permits and how to get their flu shots and stuff.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the contract with Civic Plus and authorize the county administrative officer to execute the agreement with Civic Plus.
Okay. Supervisor Scanlon made the motion. Supervisor Ingram seconded it. Anybody from the public want to comment on it? Okay, seeing none, we'll bring it back up here for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you for all your hard work, Cheyenne.
And I'd also like to give a special shout out to probation, who is funding the first year of the project with CalAID money. So thank you to probation for giving us the money.
Pretty big.
This.
Okay. So we are going to go back into closed session.
Yes, for a conference with labor negotiator Andrew Platt, Lassen County Police Officers Association.
Okay.